Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. Today we're taking a look at a new Lattafa, and it's Lattafa Pride Nebras Gold. Alright, so Nebras Gold is from the House of Lattafa. It is from the Lattafa Pride series line, and it is an eau de parfum concentration, and you can pick this bad boy up for $36 at places like Fragrance Buy. I'll have a link down in the description if you decide you want to check this one out. I also have a coupon code, save yourself $5 off your first purchase at Fragrance Buy. That'll also be down in the description if you decide you want to shop with them. Presentation on this, very, very nice. Lattafa Pride series, every time I get a new one in, I'm always blown away with how nice the presentation is for the price point, especially $36, and you get this nice thick cardboard with this kind of like faux leather kind of wrap that goes around it. Very, very nice. It has this kind of textured pattern on the front with this like sun emblem that kind of has these like radiating lights that come off of it. Really, really cool design. It has the name of the fragrance on the side, all the necessaries on the bottom, and it does have this kind of slide out book cover jacket style of box. Really, really cool. A very nice design. Bottle on the inside is also very nice. Very like, you know, sleek, kind of classy, very simple. Nothing too crazy about this one. It does have that sun pattern on the front as well. Cap on this is got some metal to it, but it does have a bit of a cheapy plastic feel at the base here. But overall, it is a nice cap, and it does kind of have this like matte black finish to it. So very nice presentation. Fun fact, with my super linguistic research skills, I figured out that Nebras translates in English to something along the lines of like a light or a lantern, but more in the context of kind of like a beacon of light. So that would kind of explain why we have this sun pattern and the radiating rays off that box right there. So there you go, there's your fun fact from Post Cologne. You get cultural references, linguistic translations, and awesome fragrance reviews. So if you haven't already, just hit that subscribe button. So if you're wondering what Nebras Gold smells like, you've come to the right place, because I'm about to tell you. Some of the notes listed in this fragrance are red berries, mandarin, vanilla, cacao, some rose, amber, tonka, musk, and sugar. And in the initial opening, what you really get is a big blast of sweet sugar with those red berries. That's right out the jump, that's the first thing that I'm getting out of this. And you also get a little hint of that mandarin and a little hint of that cacao that's gonna start to come through. Basically, after about 30 seconds to a minute of this, you get what feels like that, you know those chocolate oranges you get at Christmas where you smash them on the table and then you like have pieces of chocolate that look like orange slices? That's kind of what this chocolate mandarin kind of accord smells like, but it smells like you took that and you smashed it into a bunch of red berries covered in sugar. That's the kind of sweet, delicious gourmand style of opening that you are getting from this fragrance right off the jump. It's absolutely delicious. I love it. It just has just such a sweet accord to it, and that cacao that comes through is just so delicious, mixed with that kind of sweet mandarin and those red berries. A very fruity, chocolatey, sugary style of opening. As this starts to develop, that cacao becomes more and more kind of the front runner. Those red berries still sit there with that sugar, but they kind of fade into the background a little bit and just give a little bit of that sweetness to that cacao. The cacao in this is different than a lot of cacaos I've kind of experienced. It's a lot sweeter. It doesn't have that kind of almost like bitter powderiness that a lot of cacaos do. Like a lot of tobacco fragrances that have cacao in it, I find have this sort of powderiness, this dryness to it, and almost like a bitterness to it, even though you kind of get that chocolate accord. This one is a lot more of a sweet style of cacao. I'm not sure if it's the actual way that they process the cacao or if it's a mix of the red berries and the sugars that do it, but it is a very sweet, chocolatey vibe that you start to get from this. So as this kind of opens up and starts to develop, that chocolate vibe really comes forward and that red berry kind of sinks a little bit into the background. The rose note in here does not stand out. I do not pick up on like a definitive rose kind of note that comes through. If anything, it kind of sits in the background and kind of plays a background role. It might kind of smooth out and soften that kind of chocolate vibe that we're getting. And it might add just a touch of kind of florally sweetness to it, but there's not a dominant rose note. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that rose can kind of scare me off. I cannot pick up on a definitive rose in here. So if you're afraid of rose, don't be, because you don't pick it up on this that much. As this starts to dry down, the chocolate just becomes more and more prominent, and that vanilla tonka amber sort of combination really start to come up as well. And so what you're pretty much left with in the dry down of this is just like a red berry chocolate cake covered in vanilla whipped cream. That's essentially what this fragrance dries down to. It is just the most sweet, decadent, almost opulent, sort of dense but soft style of gourmand fragrance, and it's absolutely delicious. I love how this comes across. Very, very sweet, very, very gourmand, and I like this kind of fragrance. This style of fragrance is right up my alley when I'm in the right mood for it, and the scent profile on this is absolute banger. So when it comes to the performance of Nebras Gold, I was pleasantly surprised. I got about 10 plus hours of longevity off of my skin. I got some of my clothes and I smelled it way into the next morning. It just smelled like I had just fallen in chocolate cake covered in vanilla whipped cream with a little bit of red berries. Absolutely delicious. This lasted way longer than I actually anticipated because it has that scent accord of that kind of chocolatey, vanilla, gourmand, sort of decadent style of fragrance. I didn't think this would last as long as it did, but to my surprise, it did, and I'm super pumped on that. Projection on this wasn't monstrous, but it was good. This did kind of reach out for the first 2-3 hours fairly well, and then it did settle into a kind of a nice, soft, cozy, delicious scent bubble, and the sillage on this is absolutely gorgeous. So not a monster projector, but a very good projector, and in terms of longevity, this has excellent performance. So very, very pleased with the performance of Nebras Gold. So when it comes to the where and when you should be wearing Nebras Gold, I think this is an absolutely perfect date night fragrance. I think this is a great evening out fragrance. I think you can dress this one up. I think you can go to your fancy events and you can wear Nebras Gold and it would work perfectly fine. Casually, I think you could wear this as well, but this I think is more suited for those date night, evenings out, formal style events because this just has such a decadent, opulent, almost kind of like sophisticated sort of vibe going on with it that I think is just perfect for those sort of occasions versus casual. But you can wear it casual. I wore it casual all week because I just wanted to walk around smelling like delicious chocolate cake. And that's what you smell like. It's sexy, it's mysterious, it's got this deliciousness to it, and I absolutely love the scent profile on this. In terms of seasons, this is definitely a fall, definitely a winter, cool month style of fragrance. It just has, like I said, that gourmand sort of vibe going on to it, and that just delicious cake sort of vibe going to it. So I don't know, like in the summer, I don't want to walk around smelling like chocolate cake, but in the fall and winter, I definitely think it fits the vibe. So I think that's definitely the occasion you should be wearing this. Cooler months, evenings, date nights, formal events, that's where this is best suited. So my overall thoughts on Lattafa Pride's Nebras Gold is I'm a big fan of this one. I like me a good gourmand style fragrance, and this is a good gourmand style of fragrance. I do think it is a unisex fragrance. I think it kind of sits right on that line between a feminine, masculine style of fragrance. It might even tilt just ever so slightly to the feminine side because it has that kind of dessert style vibe going on to it. Very sweet, very opulent, decadent, delicious, gourmand style of fragrance. It does perhaps lean a little bit to the feminine side, but dudes can wear this no problem. If you're into that sort of scent profile, if you like gourmand fragrances, if you like a little bit of sweetness, this is going to be absolutely no problem. This is not like overly floral or anything that kind of screams feminine fragrance by any means. I think if you're a strong, confident man, you can wear this, not a problem, and you're gonna walk around smelling delicious. You can smell like a chocolate cake covered in vanilla whipped cream, and what girl out there doesn't like a chocolate cake covered in vanilla whipped cream? They're gonna like it on you. That's my opinion on it. That's where I think this kind of sits. Male, female, you're going to enjoy this if you like gourmand fragrances. Perfect for date nights, perfect for evenings out, perfect for formal wear. Fall, winter banger, $36. This is an absolute steal of a deal. If you're into that style of fragrance, I think you should be checking it out. That's Lattafa Pride's Nebras Gold. And I want to hear from you guys. What's one of your favorite gourmand style fragrances? Go leave a comment below. Go type right now. Let me know. I love getting your recommendations. Appreciate you guys. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.